Previously on Namtael, the fallen angel who returned to heaven with a deadly secret. Within the heart of the Weeping Forges, Namtael uncovered a truth that heaven had long forgotten. He saw a horrific vision. The first consumers, an evil clan of archangels, who not banished for seeking power, but for a twisted, grotesque attempt to birth a new race, the Horsemen of Oblivion, from the stolen essence of 4 righteous angels. In an act of mercy, not a pardon, the divine cast the first consumers into the void. But now, as the stars of heaven begin to flicker and die, Namtael realizes the chilling truth. They were not destroyed, nor were they truly banished. The first consumers have merely been waiting, growing stronger in the darkness, and their feasting has already begun. The visions of the first consumers and horsemen of oblivion at the forges were an eye-opener for Namtael. He rushed to the divine council to explain the impending doom heading their way. In the radiant heavenly council chamber, he stands firm, his words a plea against a tide of indifference. He revealed the first consumer's grotesque plot to birth the Horsemen of Oblivion, a horrifying act of high treason. A crime so serious that divine intervention was needed, but in an act of mercy, not a pardon. The knowledge of the first consumers was unmade, their truth wiped from the memory of heaven. He finished his plea, but the sacred silence that followed was not one of consideration, but of cold, dismissive contempt. Raphaela, a senior archangel, spoke for the council, her gaze fixed on him. Your revelation is more of a ghost story. The forges may have lied. The only truth that matters now is that we prevailed against Uriel. That night, Namtael's sleep was a tormented canvas of fear, his face twisted in a silent scream, a plea unheard, a desolate echo of his rage and utter disappointment. Even with his eyes closed, the monstrous visions of the first consumers crawled behind his eyelids, their abominations gnawing at his mind like a cancer on his soul. With a sudden jolt, Namtael erupts from his nightmare, his breath ragged and shallow as he fights against the suffocating grip of terror. His body glistens with icy sweat, a chilling testament to the horrors that haunt his waking and sleeping hours. Driven by fear and a bitter determination to find answers, Namtael journeyed back to the Valley of Weeping Forges. The forges stand in mournful silence, their fires extinguished, a stark contrast to Namtael's memories. Under the open sky, Namtael stands before the Weeping Forge. He tried to study the etchings on the ancient stoneware. His touch lingers, searching for the key to unlock the forge's dormant power. Suddenly, from the heart of the celestial forge, a vision unfolds, brimming with cosmic power. Shadowy figures emerge one again from the swirling chaos, their presence radiating malice. They gather, plotting their resurgence from the void, their intentions a dark promise. The banishment to the void could not stop them. The cosmic energies intensify, foreshadowing the impending return of ancient evils. In the Valley of Weeping Forges, Namtael shakes with fear and anger, the desolate landscape mirroring the turmoil in his heart. A chilling revelation dawns on Namtael, casting a shadow over the already bleak valley. Namtael utters to himself, "They are not truly banished. They did not go to the void. The void became them. They are a corrupted presence, a silent and consuming void at the edge of heaven, waiting to tear through the veil that separates us from them. They are waiting." His divine robes billow wildly as he races against the encroaching shadows, a solitary figure against the ethereal backdrop. He knows the first consumers are about to unleash their monstrous creations. Namtael races towards the heart of heaven, ready to confront the looming threat. Michael's legion, fueled by their leader's grim determination, purged angels they saw as harboring Uriel's sickness, forcing them into exile. Uriel's followers, believing their leader's vision was the only way to protect themselves from Michael's purges, continued their dark experiments in secret, trying to perfect the broken code to ascend and survive. They saw no harm in absorbing the essence of other angels. Both sides were so focused on the enemy they had created that they failed to see the one they had awoken. Namtael sought out Michael and Uriel's most senior advisors, presenting his findings with a quiet urgency. The evidence was irrefutable: the Weeping Forge's memory, the echo of the first consumers, and the true nature of the broken code. Namtael said, his voice ringing with a conviction that demanded to be heard. The weakening you feel, and the star dimming before our eyes. It is no longer a civil war or a sign of blasphemy. It is a slow, methodical draining. The first consumers are feasting on the energy of our home, and they are preparing to return. Uriel's followers, overhearing the conversation, saw it as a distraction. You fear our true power? A lieutenant of Uriel's faction sneered. She called out to her fellow angels. He's a distraction. Do not let his ghost stories blind you to our glorious ascension. Defeated, Namtael withdrew. An entire constellation of stars went dark right before their eyes. Not just a few, an entire swath of the celestial sky began to wink out, plunging sections of the city into a cold, echoing emptiness. The civil war came to a screeching halt. All at once, the two factions looked up, their faces a mixture of fear and dawning horror. The silent, sickening pulse from the void, which had been a whisper, was now a loud, guttural heartbeat. A message, a single, horrifying thought, reverberated through the very essence of heaven. It was not a voice, but a presence of an evil being. In the heart of the void, Malachor, the leader of the first consumers, smiled with satisfaction. Her form was a grotesque mockery of a once beautiful archangel, her body a void that consumed all light, her wings a sculpture of frozen chaos. She had feasted on the stolen essence for eons, and now, fueled by the war Namtael had ignited, she was ready to return. Her army of corrupted angels, similarly grotesque, were ready to breach the veil of the void. Their arrival would be a scream to shake the cosmos. As the stars of heaven winked out, plunging entire sections of the celestial city into a cold, desolate darkness, the panicked cries of angels echoed through the silence. This was no ordinary invasion. It was a consumption, a slow and methodical feasting that terrified Michael and Uriel's factions more than any clashing of blades. The civil war came to a screeching halt, replaced by a dawning horror that was universal. Namtael, standing on the edge of the newly darkened part of the city, saw not just an attack, but a chilling perversion of life itself. He remembered the vision from the Weeping Forges, the stolen essences of angels, the failed attempt to forge the Horsemen of Oblivion. He now understood the true nature of the sin. It was not just an act of rebellion. It was an act of creation gone horribly wrong. A twisted, failed birthing. A single, chilling thought. A voice without sound. Then resonated through the minds of every angel in heaven. It was Malachor, leader of the first consumers. Her voice was not a roar of triumph, but a lullaby of cosmic horror. A voice once melodic and now a cacophony of shattered souls. My children, the voice whispered, its tone filled corrupted affection. You fear the darkness because you have forgotten the truth of creation. The divine built you with a flaw, a broken code that allows for pain and loss. I am here to correct that flaw. I am here to make you perfect. I'm not your enemy. I am your savior. I will consume your flaws and rebirth you into a perfect race, an unending consciousness, a new, flawless heaven. This terrifying maternal declaration shattered any remaining resolve for war. Michael's legion, once proud and unyielding, was now paralyzed with existential dread. Uriel's and his followers, who sought ascension, now saw their philosophy mirrored in a horrifying way, a grotesque reflection of their own desires. Namtael, armed with the knowledge of the forgotten sin, knew the only way to fight her was not through strength, but through a deeper truth. Namtael knows Malachor's essence is a living void, and any attempt to strike her will only be absorbed, making her stronger. The war with her will be one of ideologies, not blades. He must prove that her perfection is a lie. He takes a small band of angels back to the Weeping Forges. His goal is to find a way to project the true, unfiltered memory of Malakor's crime into the minds of all of heaven. He believes that if the other angels see her original, horrifying act, her act of birthing the Horsemen of Oblivion, by consuming the essence of righteous angels, they will turn from her. Namtael and his small group, bathed in the sorrowful light of the silent forges, as the rest of heaven is plunged into a chilling, corrupted darkness. Meanwhile, Malakor's army of corrupted angels begins their slow, silent march toward the main celestial city. They are not an army in the traditional sense. They are a single, terrifying entity. Their forms, a collective of all the essences they have consumed over eons. Their purpose is not to fight, but to consume and absorb. Their very presence strains the light from the air, turning the once vibrant celestial rivers into stagnant pools of ash, and the glorious, flowering mountains into petrified husks. The angels in the city, weak and starving for light, are falling one by one, their forms dissolving into a fine, black dust. Namtael and his group activate the weeping forges. The forges, once silenced, now sing a song of righteous agony. The memories of Malakor's original sin, her grotesque, maternal act of creating the Horsemen of Oblivion from stolen essence, are not just a vision for Namtael, but a broadcast for all. It projected into the minds of every angel in heaven. The angels see the truth. Malakor was not a noble quest for perfection, but a horrifying, selfish act of creation. They see Malakor as she truly is not a savior, but a perverted mother who believes her children are fuel for her own ambition. The shock of this truth is a wave that crashes through the celestial city, a moment of profound clarity. The fear and paranoia that fueled the civil war instantly dissipates, replaced by a universal, unifying terror of a much greater enemy. Malakor, enraged by this act of defiance, lets out a cosmic scream of fury. Her grand plan of a subtle consumption is now exposed. She speeds up her assault. A deafening silence fell over the outer rim of the celestial city as Malakor's army arrived, their presence a chilling echo of the thunder from the void. The civil war is over, and now, the true battle begins. A desperate, united defense of heaven against the ultimate, original enemy. A breathtaking visual of the once fractured angels, Michael's legion and Uriel's followers now standing side by side, their blades of light raised against the encroaching darkness. They are no longer fighting each other. They are fighting for their very existence.